so you know it don't tick. I hope the plug comes with an old brick. Bag work till my arm got stiff. My boy treats loose like the NEO kicks. Man talk crap but they never saw shit break hearts. If they knew what this telephone did, if they knew what this telephone does. One phone call get you NEO rush. I'm into the death, get a mini fish smash when I talk to the plug. Send up your phone on the bus. Got money if you're talking to us. No hype if we see blue lights. And this bush get thrown in a bush. Don't panic, I'm asthmatic. I saw your girlfriend, I'm Spanish. The way my homie DJ's living, I'ma change his name to Lavish. Cause you're killing it. It's savage, got baggies in my baggies. I look the plug dead in his eyes, said, do you believe in magic? Put the pack in the van, abracadabra, alakazam. I'm with KB, that is my plan. Making it home, that is the plan. It's time to expand. Heard the ops are asking about man. Heard they plan on capturing man. Like I won't got any block to grab. Squad of your mind, you mad. Mutton and rice, I've hurt my stripes. Off get them nice, I'm with two guys. One of them's hot, he's got man up, so we brung two. Shit gets real when man do life. Man's cat here, let's see who rides. Let's see it. Fight, I'm different. I'd rather fuck dudes white. Been pimping, since pimping, have the girls all swinging. Breath stinking, she's blinging, can't hear her phone ringing. That's called the bringing. My latest hobby's drinking. Sometimes I get possessed and text my ex like, guess what I'm thinking. Oh my God. No rules on Wednesdays, I like to sponsor blues. I know what the roads do, so I tell the youths go to school. College in it, I know dudes who grew up with me I'm close to. What happened? They know what the storm do, but this side the I'm so fool. See me, I'm old school. Why you brought up on soul food? I don't know who could walk a mile in my old shoes. I was told to avoid shit that does not involve you. My ex just texted my back and said you turn to the old you. Oh my God. Oh well, I'll see you when we go hell. Fell in love with the coke smell. Now there's nothing we don't rest. Bagging up in a hotel. I know these digits so well. My best friend. I know this time I hear man I never met a wish that don't smell. That's one of them. Not fucking one of them. Yeah, it's like man, I got me feeling like John from Wick out here or some shit. Sat minding my own business. It's like man come and kill a dog or something. Must have shown man what time it is now. Man, oh come on, plug your plug. For real. Teddy also went to Bush for everybody and then I knows what I does. For real. Come and find me in your plugs and don't be me. I got the blower blowing up. Hello. I'm trying to beg a charger in the pub. Yo, can I use your charger, please? Me, I wear my darkers in the club. In the club. Mr. Mecca, this yard smell of love. Good, he can. Man, are bad. Are you mad? Are you mad? Before we go, check the snap. Where they at? Yo, where they at? Go and cause a problem where they trap. Go where they chill. Before we go, check the snap. Where they at? Yo, let me tell her what's going on, though. Man, a murder in the trap. For real. Nitty's putting Tina Turner in the ash. Anywhere we there, turn it to a trap. Worker in the front, burn her in the back. If I think your baby mother's bad, then what I'll hit the DMs and I'll turn her to a house. I'll turn a person to a stash. I'm just trying to turn a purple to a bite. You understand, man? Trying to double up, triple up. For when it's time to have to go and dig it up. Yo, go get that, cuz it's time to show you what these digits does. You know, been a minute since I seen a nigga. Give a fuck, you can't sit with us. No, check my steez, don't make me go and pick some bitch gifts up. Baby, what you doing? 220 horses make them giddy up. Really, cause we off the city up. Come on, I'm bad. Are you mad? Before we go, check the snap. Where they at? Yo, where they at? Cause go and cause a problem where they trap. Or where they chill. Before we go, check the snap. Where they at? Yo, where they at? Cause come on, I'm bad. Are you mad? Before we go, check the snap. Where they at? Yo, check that Snapchat. Go and cause a problem where they trap. Or where they kick. Before we go, check the snap. Where they at? Where them? I'm all Bobby, I'm all Whitney. In the trap playing old 50. You need what? Just give me a minute. Give me a minute, cuz. Yo, bitch, go get the digits. Teddy's active cause Miss what a loose batch you done some shit. I don't mean to be dramatic, but I seen a Johnny no image on a mattress cause oh gosh type of yeah that'll make your jaw lock. Type of debts that'll take your door off. Boom, but hello is on us. Hello. Oh gosh, everybody's roped up. Relax, everybody chill. I don't wanna hurt nobody, but my homie will. Okay. Not enough for spill. Just do as he says. I beg you keep it real. Go and get the eam. I don't need help, I just need someone to feed it. Believers, we're right here killing it. South of the city on some gorilla shit. Doing what we gotta do. But it's not just me, I got you. Doing what the us do. Got the type of twist to make your body move. Oh, that Teddy's active. I'm active. Come, I'll show you about some magic, blood. Come look at this. I'm not into adding much. Not much. Just enough to give that afterbuzz. As for us, we'll be about. Always got the soul, never seen a drop. Go and get the name out now. Let's try and make the digits bounce. Did they stop? Girls got mine. Baby girl, have you off in the trap? Nah, I didn't think you would. I didn't. My homie's coming with some on the rack. Imagine that, babe. Go get that. Nah, wait, go get the pie. Get the real, go and get the bike. Everybody knows where we're at, cause we're active, I'ma show you what this trap shit does. Get the digits active, blood. And we will show you what this magic does. So you know, you don't. Yo, T, this shit was telling me I'm wavy, you know, bro. It's like I'm starting to believe them, cuz. What's good, he can? My court smells like we were at, we peddling. We didn't left, the devil's at the door, somebody let him in, hello. Menacing, this life is menacing. Nitties making news out of ventilation. Yo, T, this shit is telling me I'm wavy, you know, bro. It's like I'm starting to believe them, cuz. What's good, he can? My court smells like we were at, we left. The devil's at the door, somebody let him in, hello. Menacing, this life is menacing. Nitties making news out of ventilation. Round here, beef never gets poured. No. Bigger than the exhaust. If we want him, then we getting it. We getting cartel style, straight terror ting. Round here, it's like the medallion. Push off, blow out your melanin. So I might well fuck when I'm bored. Babes, I love you, can sit this and yours, please. I don't want to hear you so, I just want yours. So I beg you, please answer my call, please. Cause I might well fuck when I'm bored. The gift will out me than the exhaust. Round here, beef never gets paused. Babes, I love you, can you sit this and yours. No sleep, same clothes, all week. Please don't wish this off, post it, we wish it. Ask them niggas, man, they know me. You can ask them. Teddy Hustle, I'm a OG. Ask them. Straight mad houses I roll with. You can ask them. In and out of trap houses since all free. Come and find me where the ghosts be spooky. It's a rap if you worry. Why is that? Cause I'ma tell TV tin. No. And he'll be in your crib on some divvy shit. Hello? Talking about gimme this. Give me 2 liter turbo skirt in a bit. So I might well put up when I'm bored. Babes, I love you, can sit this and yours. That wasn't me in Meadowhall. Don't believe your friends, they just wanna talk. Cause I might well put up when I'm bored. 4-4 louder than a new Porsche. Round here, beef never gets paused. Babes, I love you, can sit this and yours. Cause I might well put up when I'm bored. Yes, I might well put up when I'm bored. Turning up in 4x4. Bang louder than a new Porsche. Picking up where I left off. This is the best of my dirty mind, girl. Please show me what's under them clothes. Show me what's under them clothes. If I'm a hustler, don't you know? Yeah, scrap that. Leave a girl with a bad back. Ouch. She has mood swings and sometimes the it acts bad, but I like that. So we're in a fire, I bite that. Girl, let go of my phone. Girl, let go of my phone. If I'm not with these horse, please let it go. Why don't want to get and I'm right the way till we capsize. You're a bad girl. Well, I whoop your ass. I'm a landmine, I'll blow your mind, so act right. When I'm inside, I make her toes for a gang sign. I make her a ride. Off the bullshit that my ex said she lied. I hope the dumb shit. You know the stories, you know what them girls be like. I hope she sees my Insta story and I hope she cries. I swear to God, bitch. I can't wait till I get puzzled. You can scream all you want, but I swear I'ma show you there's no God. You can come to mine, get naked and show up. I'm not watching TV, babe, turn the show off. Cough, wink, rosé that we drink. What the sauce think? Fuck you on my sink. Look into my eyes, girl, I swear that I don't blink. Make us know this vision, I'ma make your washing stink. You're gonna smell like me, and I'm gonna smell like you. Let's keep this low key, keep this to ourselves, and leave the people be. The kind of things we do between you and me, that's right. Why? Cause I'm a hustler, don't you know? Baby, please let go of my phone. My lips outside, I gotta go. No freak off Joe.
Hey, Walker on the top, running through the guap.
She asked me if my tattles hurt, I said not as much as you. Nowhere near. Now will you talk it? Please, we save it in your bedroom. I'll kiss you when we're in public, babes. I'll take you out for food. But if you fall in love with me, then you're doomed. It's true. Get 2 weeks and you'll realize all I care about is tattoos. Rex, it's up to you to be like. Move, let you wear my clothes in bed. I'll let you loose. I'm home, too. But do not touch my wounds. Alright, cool. Mwah, babes, I really like your new shoes. Where'd you get them from? Where'd you get that body? Where'd you get those moves? Yeah, I'll stay at yours if you want. I don't care if I meet you. But I might just drink the fruit shoots. Cool. I'll stay in bed while you take them sick up on go. I'll be here. If the mums on the school run only knew what the f*** we do. Back shots upon back shots, I'm a dog, I'm a Scooby-Doo. I might ask you for your spare key, but I'm not moving in with you, I'm sorry. I like the situation that I got with you. I say that I got you, I know that you got me too, alright? Them just watch you, I know that they watch me too, alright? It's cute, babes, they can't help that they wanna be you, alright? So fix your face, babes, there's no need to be rude. Unless we're in the bedroom, I make this up, we eat that food. Cute, I like you when you act cute. You might just have my youth, alright? So tell me, do you think you could fall in love with your eyes closed? What you think, man? I like a pretty girl who's psycho, kinda like you. In the silent room, we both fell in love with our eyes closed.
Hey, Walker on the top, running through the guap.
It's like everyone's gang till it's time to do some gang shit. Little puppy dog bandos more gang than you fucking idiots. Ah, it's tragic, it's tragic. Go grab it, go gadget. Do the mathematics, do the math. Who's the baddest? Who's the baddest? Before you hit these roads, don't panic. Why? So shit, will turn you to a it's out, come trapping. Got DJs old as my daughter. I love you, babe. Us you ballers, you can ask Kyle Walker. They love to go to the same fiends on the same old corner. Believe people call me a lot of things, but they can't call me informer. Never that. But by carving the water. Up my mum's plate, she wish she'd had the daughter. I'm sorry, mum. But a private caller. Oh, probably that much. She promised her that I would call her. Off this, moon more. Off these souls, do my homies just do road. Go sleep, then do oh shit. 2 phones, I'll show you how this food goes. Anything is anything, cause yeah, I'll even take you boss for really. My pockets jingle jangle, in the trap, lighting Cali off a candle. Imagine that. It's time to watch this ozone get dismantled. Take anything you need, but only take what you can handle. Are we clear? Pause back on the beach. What? Tell him if he sets off in a minute, I'll be there. I'll text him when I'm here. I swear I'm there. Priorities are clear. I'm spending money on Fendi, but it's looking like no fear. Man, I'm mad. Off shit, baby, baby, that. Come and put that Sophie all on my mustache. If you're back, we can go back to my flat. Bring a couple friends, I'm sure my friends are cool with that. My friends are on some cool shit. Ish, no comment, we man shit. Any problems, we bang shit. Shit gets out of hand quick. Love everyone that I hang with, cause everyone that I hang with are down to do some bad shit. It's tragic, it's tragic. Go grab it, go gadget. Do the mathematics, do the math. Who's the baddest? Who's the baddest? Before you hit these roads, don't panic. Why? Us will turn you to a trap. Oh shit, my bro raps hard but he don't spit. No, us boys doing hella dope shit. Don't ask her, you know it don't tick. No, I hope the plug comes with an old brick. Bag work till my arm got stiff. My boy treats loose like the any old kicks. Man talk crap but they never saw shit. Break hearts if they knew what this telephone did. If they knew what this telephone does. One phone call, get you any old rush. I'm into the death, get a mini fish smash when I talk to the plug. No vinegar, send up your home on the bus. Shit, talk money if you're talking to us. Yeah. No hype if we see blue lights. And this bush get thrown in a bush. Don't panic, I'm asthmatic, I tell your girlfriend I'm Spanish. The way my homie DJ's living, I'ma change his name to Lavish. Cause you're killing it, it's savage. Got baggies in my baggies. I look the plug dead in his eyes, said do you believe in magic? Voila. Put the pack in the van, abracadabra, alakazam. I'm with KB, that is my plan. Making it home, that is the plan. It's time to expand. Heard the ops are asking about man. Heard they plan on capturing man, like I won't got any block to grab. Spanning your mind, you mind. Mutton and rice, I've hurt my stripes. Off get 'em nice, I'm with 2 guys. One of them's hot, he's got man up, so we brung 2. Shit gets real when man do live. Man's cat here, let's see who rides. Let's see it. Off the fight, I'm different. I'd rather off dudes wife. Been pimping, since pimping, have your girls off swinging. Breath stinking, she's blinging. Can't hear her phone ringing. That's called the bringing. My latest hobby's drinking. Sometimes I get possessed and text my ex like, guess what I'm thinking? Oh my God. No rules on Wednesdays, I like to sponsor blues. I know what the roads do, so I tell the youths go to school. College in it, man. I know dudes who grew up with me, I'm close to. What happened? They know what the storm do, but decided I'm so fool. See me, I'm old school. Why you brought up on soul food? I don't know who could walk a mile in my own shoes. No.
Warning. Swearing may be used on this stream cause we're grown. If you are easily offended, tighten up. Content provided on this stream is intended for entertainment purposes only. It should not be construed as legal or medical advice, and should not be relied upon or acted upon, without retaining proper counsel. No copyright infringement and no commercial benefits intended. All copyright belongs to rightful owners. With that mouthful being said, buckle up.
Hey, good evening. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another evening of Foot Culture. So, first things first. I am Tanya Vital. I am the host of Foot Culture. I am a Bradfordian actor, writer, digital content producer. You may have seen me in things like Emmerdale, Red Sparrow, Pennyworth, Casualty, Doctors, loads of other stuff. This is Foot Culture. What is Foot Culture? Foot Culture is a digital platform that empowers traditionally underrepresented creatives to engage, interact, and share their artistry without barriers. What does that mean? Basically, due to COVID, well, let's start at the beginning. Access has always been an issue for many communities, particularly in the arts. Access to theatres, access to platforms. So this was kind of like an idea for over a year. It was originally going to be a podcast, and then due to COVID, it became a digital platform. We interview artists, we share their work, and hopefully we're going to start creating stuff just for Foot Culture. Why did we need to do it? Like I said, because of access, to keep my sanity, and also to kind of highlight the amazing artists that we do have in the North that hardly ever get the recognition that they deserve. All right, so what have we got tonight? Okay, so first, before we go on, you might see a few new changes, like the captions here. Here, yeah. Okay, so we are testing new software to try and create captions for all our shows going forward, particularly, again, for access. Now, what we've learned is that the software is not very corpus mentis. Is it going to translate corpus mentis? Let's see. Oh, okay, kind of. Basically, it can only translate audio from live, from a live mic. So the captions will be translated from everything that I say to you now tonight, but the pre-recorded stuff, I think it's going to not translate those things. So I'm working on it. Bear with me. I will try and I will endeavour to add captions post-show. I know on YouTube you can type them up and stuff like that. And I will try and find another software that is available to use when I'm doing pre-recorded stuff. But tonight, the captions will only be that way. The live audio. Okay, so that's that. If you are new to the channel, if you're on Facebook, like our page. If you're on Twitter, follow our page. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to our page. Can I ask you all a big favour? Share the link, please. We want more people to find out about it, particularly underrepresented artists in the North. What else do we need? Yep, copy the link in case the stream breaks. Those of you who've been with me since the start will remember week 1 and our trials and tribulations. So if the stream breaks, if you've copied it down, you'll be able to just get back on straight away. Fingers crossed. I'm not planning on it breaking tonight. That's one of the reasons why we do all the pre-recorded stuff. My little laptop is not strong enough to do all the things I want to do, and pre-recorded stuff makes it easier to stream on the night. All right, so what have we got coming up? Okay, so we've got less. It's a bit of a different night tonight. We've got less artists, less interviewed artists, but the quality is still there. The content is still there. So first up, we've got actor Adam Bassett, who is not from West Yorkshire, but he's from Hull, so it's Yorkshire, and he's a good lad. And then we've got Movie Madness with Hedda. So some of you who will remember the test streams will remember that me and Hedda tried to do Movie Madness back then, and your girl didn't know what she was doing, and there was audio looping going on and loads of nonsense. So we don't have any of that tonight. So Hedda's going to tell us what he's been watching through the lockdown. Excuse me. Then we're gonna have a little break so that I can go for a little waz and some snacks and stuff because I'm starving. And then after the break, we've got Boris, believe it or not. Oh yeah, Boris and Tina. Oh yes, that Tina, the Tina you're all thinking of. Who else have we got? We've got a couple of creatives around the region sharing their content, because we asked you for your creative content. We want to start showing more creative stuff. Like, interviews are great, but we want to, you know, put smiles on people's faces. So we've asked you for your TikToks and all kinds of stuff like that. So we've got a little treat after the break. Yeah, I think that's all I needed to tell you. Let me just double check my list one time. Yeah, that's it. All right, so first up we have Adam Bassett. Now I'm going to read his biography. So I first met Adam when we did the show Up and Under together 2 years ago now. 3 years? 3 years ago now, with Fingersmith. Hi Jen, hi Pickles. Fingersmith Theatre Company. So it was an integrated show, integrated with BSL and English speaking language. Adam's been an actor for a number of years. He produces his own films, Vanishing, Retreat. He's I don't know if he's produced or starred in this, but he's been involved with Yorkshire 4 Deaf Go to Blackpool, Deaf Victorians, Deaf Funny. He's worked with a lot with Definitely Theatre, done their Love's Labour's Lost, Midsummer Night's Dream. He was the winner in 2013 at the Deaf Fest Visual Vernacular Competition. That's interesting, because we've got a little bit of visual vernacular coming up. And if you don't know what that is, you're going to be amazed, okay? It's a beautiful, beautiful style of... Is it a language? It's a physical language. Okay. What else has he done? He's a massive rugby fan, so, you know, big up the rugby league boys. A proper man's sport, I'll tell thee. Oh, and he recently did, again with Definitely Theatre, he worked on Sarah Kane's 4.48 Psychosis, which got rave reviews around the country. Okay, so without further ado, here is my mate Adam explaining what he's been up to since lockdown. How have you been since lockdown?
To start off, it was really hard. You know, as a deaf person, kind of used to being isolated. The lockdown had resonance exactly the same. A lot of hearing people, it was the first time in their lives. But as a deaf person, I've experienced it anyway. So it was, you know, not a huge amount of difference, I suppose. So I just get on with it. I still see my daughter. I'm still chatting with people on Zoom with all my deaf friends, and we're just chatting away in sign language. I also work with ITV. I'm an in-vision interpreter. But I've been furloughed now, so I can't go up to the ITV studios to do that. So that's one impact it's had on me. But every Monday, I'm a key worker. I'm supposed to see some clients and check they're okay. And obviously, no, I can't do that. So that's sad. So, you know, what happens next, I don't know. You know, it's just impossible to tell. I hope it does resolve itself quickly. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just speaking to Dave, who's kindly interpreting for me today. We were talking about Zoom meetings and how everybody's become an expert. And you were saying how Zoom meetings are kind of full now. And there's 100 little boxes and everyone's trying to vie for attention.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody, we're having games, we're having quiz nights, we're having pantomimes, we're having theatre shows, we're having, you know, there might be 25 on one page and you have to scroll 3 pages across, and then you have to scroll back again and try and find out who's talking. You might be talking to somebody and somebody waving like a mad thing and banging the camera to try and get your attention, you know. You can't shout, it's impossible. You wave and then you've been waving until you're sweating. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. But it is nice to see the deaf community really engaging, and every week there's something going, and that's really nice. We are sticking together, and that's fab.
That's great. That sounds like you're being really creative. I wish the hearing community were as creative. We are having like quizzes and things, but I think we could go further. So my next question is, going back a little bit, tell us about your creative history and how you got into acting.
Well, when I was young, I remember my mum. She worked in the Ritz video hire shop, you know, before Blockbuster, the old Ritz video hire shop, and she used to work there. So every week, at the weekends, we'd get 5 VHS to watch, and I'd just watch them avidly through the weekend, absolutely glued to the screen. There was no subtitles there, but I was looking at the facial expressions, I was looking at their body language and trying to pick up the plot. Eventually, as the tubs they became subtitled, I realized that my storyline was different to their storyline, so that's a bit of a shock. But then I saw Charlie Chaplin, the old silent movies, and he was amazing because he never used his voice. It's all done through action. I thought, I must be the same as me. That's brilliant. So I was fascinated to start to copy all of his films, his movements, and I used to copy his movements back at school, and people said, that's brilliant, you should become an actor, Adam. Anyway, I kind of dropped it, and I remember asking one of the teachers, and they were saying, it's impossible, you can't be an actor. So feeling a bit gutted, really, and left at that point. But eventually, I was at Hull College. I did a media course there. And just chatting away, and the teacher said, you know, you can do this, that you are creative, you can do YouTube, you can. So I started doing a few YouTubes and filming and started doing that. I mean, technology was a lifesaver. People started to recognize me. And people saying, well, do you want to come and join in this bit of film? And the first film was called Vanishing on website. And that was part of the BSL zone. And my first acting role was that. So the BSL zone, and that was it. Absolutely absorbed from that point onwards. But it's the advent of technology that allowed me to achieve that.
Yeah, it's true. Technology has been a lifesaver for a lot of communities that have not traditionally been able to get into the arts easily. You mentioned BSL Zone, but which job or collaboration have you worked on that you enjoyed the most, and why?
The BSL Zone website. I mean, I've worked for a series of those. I think the one called Small World, that was my favourite. It was amazing. There were 5 deaf actors involved, a variety of characters, but everybody had different ways of producing their sign language. One of them, profoundly deaf, really strong BSL all his life. Another person who just had sort of limited sign SSE because they have more of a hearing background. Somebody's involved in an international person who was copying a bit of British Sign Language, Italian Sign Language, in the mixture of theirs. There's somebody who's brought up deaf all their life, but been brought up in the hearing world, and they dropped into this. I had to learn to sign for the program, and there's loads of mistakes, which is just funny part of the learning process. And there was somebody who was proper grassroots, born and bred in the community. Oh, fantastic! But really, a clever person, really good. So the 5 of us in one room meant that, wow, all the different modes and means and accents and dialects and ways, which really challenged the assumption that all deaf people are the same. And that series 1 was just fabulous. I loved that piece of collaborative work. It was amazing. And it used to be like, everybody knew this, everybody knew that. Do you know about this? Do you know about that? And it just grew. Because it's such a small world, the deaf community is. The whole idea of small world was everybody know each other and what's going on. So that was it.
Yeah. Is that available to see online anywhere?
Yeah. It's available still online on the BSL Zone website. So look it up, Small World.
What's the biggest challenge you've faced in the industry?
I suppose the first time, the very first film I did that, after that, it was fantastic. I want to do some more. So I thought, so if I'd join a hearing theatre company, I contacted and introduced who I was. I'm deaf, I use sign language, and let them all know that here, I was a willing actor, and got nothing back. Absolutely nothing back. And I thought to myself that, the real world was that deaf actors were a marginalised community, and the view was still out there in the industry that deaf people can't. So you get in a company and you try and think alternative way round, and you think, so how can we communicate without interpreters? And the first challenge to overcome is getting in. The second challenge is without interpreters, how to communicate with each other. But you soon get over that. But I remember back at university, the course, they asked me, they were looking for a deaf actor. I thought, I can join that university, I'm fine. But we want you to come in, do that hand move thing. What? Hand move? What are you talking about? This is a language, sign language. So kind of that little patronising attitude is out there, with 21st century, but people still don't get it. But now, it's a growing industry. Now where we are now, over the years, I think we're in a very good place, really. A lot of deaf actors involved in theatres, films, and I'm really delighted where the place where we are at the moment.
That brings me nicely to my next question, actually. Why is it important to have deaf representation in deaf acting roles or in deaf roles?
If you bring in a deaf person, they have that innate knowledge, they have their deaf identity, they know how deaf culture, have that deaf character built up, they've been born and bred into the language and the culture. They've got that experience of how to fit in a hearing world with not understanding and all the barriers. And that's the reality. So you bring that into a deaf character, and immediately you're glued in, you're cued in. But if you brought in a hearing actor who didn't know anything of the culture, the background, the deaf awareness, the language, and the whole thing would collapse. It looks fake, it looks false. So deaf people who are watching would go, "Who's that? That's not real. They're never deaf. They don't look it." I suppose it'd be like a white actor, I guess, wanting to become a black character. And it just wouldn't be right. It would be, it's just wrong, full stop. It's culturally and everything and linguistically wrong. So from the deaf community's point of view, I mean, it does happen. It does happen, but it's a bit. I remember the film Hush.
Yes.
That had a hearing actor playing a deaf character. And the language, the language they're producing, the style of the language is awful. It's also, I researched why, but her husband was directing. So it was preordained, really. So there is that around, and it's a shame.
Yeah, that's the reason I ask, really, because I mean, I know the answer, but I think others need to hear, particularly for when you mentioned other cultures playing black characters. We no longer blacken our face because we all know it's wrong. So why is it okay for others to fake hearing impairment or visual impairment? So I completely get that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great example. All the people who are acting as disabled people. And they get the award or the Oscar, and it happens. There's disabled actors out there, but it's always able actors who get the parts.
So we met when we did Up and Under, and that was the first time I'd seen VV, and I was so inspired by all you actors on that show. So for those people who don't know, what is visual vernacular? And why is it used alongside BSL?
Okay, so sign language itself has its structure, its grammar, its syntax, its vocabulary, and that's the language. And it's our communication language, same as any other language. Talk about visual vernacular, VV. You take the language element out of it, and you've got movement, facial expression. You're including mime. You're using additional shapes. For instance, you become the car. You have to. For instance, I talk about a car. Your eyes would be the headlamps. Your mouth would be the engine. The wheels would be there like that. So that isn't sign language, but it's using the elements of sign language to be more visually descriptive. So it's almost like a cinema-like series of clips, and so it's purely visual art form, and it's set up a while back. First of all, it came across from America. One person named Brendan again, anyway, but BB, and then there was somebody who joined in Europe who saw this idea and brought it back into Europe, where it really spread out. And maybe only 10 years back, it's probably came across into the UK. It's massively popular because it tells stories, and you tell these gorgeous, beautiful stories.
How do you think the industry could change to increase access for all? I know it's a bit difficult now with lockdown, but once we're out of lockdown, there do need to be changes made. And how do you think we could implement changes?
In access, well, really, the theatre, it starts from the theatre itself, so that hearing and deaf actors can just mix as well as the audience. So it's just absolutely equal platform. So historically, you'd have the hearing actors on the stage, and interpreter would be stuck next to proscenium arch. So deaf people have to look across to the interpreter on the corner of the stage to understand all the dialogue, and it was horrible. It didn't work. And sometimes you see subtitles, the stage text, and again, it's either at the bottom or at the top of the stage, and again, you're still missing out on the experience. More recently, a show in Leeds, Oliver Twist, was put on, and that was amazing. It was beautiful, because what happened was the deaf people, the main characters, had a deaf main character. They were using sign language. Had Fagin, who was deaf. Oliver and Artful Dodger were deaf. It was fantastic. So it was, and the hearing characters were there, but also they were using gesture and they were using sign. So anybody who came to watch the show had full access, but they could see some deaf actors. It wasn't labelled disabled theatre. It was just the story of Oliver Twist told in beautiful integrated way. Unfortunately, lockdown cut it short after its first 2-week run at Leeds, and we're hoping it will come back again at some point. But yeah, having it integrated on stage is the way to do it. But the deaf actors are really delighted, because the reviews were absolutely amazing. It might be the first time it actually said the actors, the characters were just, that's it. In other words, they didn't, normally they'd say something like, oh, so-and-so, the deaf actor, using sign language, and they'd go on and on and on. But these reviews just said, or it might be, that black actor was really, really good. But now these reviews just say, oh, Brooklyn Melvin playing Oliver Twist, fantastic. And Carol Parker playing Fagin, fantastic. There's no mention of any other characteristics apart from their skills as a professional actor.
It looks like we are progressing in the right way. And I know our friend Stephen was in that, right? Was Nadeem in that as well? But I know Stephen was in that.
Yes, Stephen and Nadeem were there. Yeah. And I was working with them as well, supporting them. And I'm just watching them doing their acting, and I want to try and give them advice. I was working as a creative in the background, and able to support them. My role there was I was assistant. Hang on, what was I? Assistant creative director. which meant I was able to give some overviews about where they could just polish up some of the movement, some of the blocking, to make sure it's accessible from a visual point of view, and supporting the director, Amy. And we had two BSL consultants came in to make sure that the translations had been accurately done. And, you know, had to make sure that the hearing actors were understanding, could use language that matched the translations as well. It was fascinating. It was brilliant. I really enjoyed it.
That's so cool that theatres are now kind of taking on board that we need creatives from your community to be able to advise properly, rather than us just thinking, you know, the hearing community thinking that we know how everything should be. Which brings me on to my last question. What job or character or role do you most want to play, or what play do you want to do? Do you want to become a director? What do you want to do next?
Just the one. Little Shop of Horrors. I'd love to do that. Get my hands on that. I want to be the main character in that. You know, little glasses, little bulb, yes, Simon, and be him. Yeah. I think it'd be fantastic. I'd love to do that. I've wanted to do that for such a long time. Oh, come on, somebody give me a job. I'd like to do some directing as well, and I'm just starting to emerge as a director. I don't know what play I'd do. If it could be absolutely anything, I could. I mean, for instance, Charles Dickens, or a bit of Shakespeare. You know, I'd love to be able to adapt something like that into full sign language, but integrated again with hearing actors and deaf actors. But you know, this whole idea of 100% accessible theatre. Not, I mean, what I don't like is having a deaf actor there and a hearing actor there, and then the deaf actor being just a translator of the hearing actor's role. I feel that's not right. I want it to be a dialogue, you know, just a natural dialogue between the actors on the stage, so the audience will just enjoy the movement rather than having to watch a deaf actor translate what the hearing actor just said. You know, it should be. I'd love to be able to just achieve some really great integrated theatre like that. And I'd love to get more deaf actors. You know, encourage more deaf actors. You know, from deaf who are BME, deaf LGBT, deaf different religions, mental health. I mean, there's a raft of additional things all in one. I'd love to try and bring that all into one play as well, all in one setting. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. That's kind of one of the reasons I started this show, because I just want underrepresented communities and artists to know that there is a platform, and just to encourage people to be a bit more creative, you know, make your own videos, put stuff on YouTube. You never know where it'll lead, that kind of thing. So that's the end of my questions. Thank you so much for joining us. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Adam. And thank you, Dave, for helping us. I really, really appreciate it.
It's a very funny thing. When I was playing at Loughborough, I never got nervous. I never had a thought about the game, but tonight I'm like a bag of nerves. I've been to the toilet, back to bed. I'm going to the toilet again in a minute. I'm sweating. Sweat's dripping down my brow. Even my palms are wet. I'll have to hope that I can, drift off to sleep. And there I am, playing at Wembley in the Challenge Cup final. Playing for Fulham against the mighty Featherstone. There's hundreds and hundreds of bloated red faces looking down on me. I'm on the wing and hundreds of yards away from the rest of the team. Featherstone look massive. I gaze up and catch flashes of their kneecaps. They run through to score. I glimpse sight of the hairs on the palms of their hands. We're losing. We need a try. There's 5 minutes to play. There's an incident off the ball. Get off me, you fat pig! I see a gap, big as an ocean, opening up in front of me. Pass the ball! Pass the ball! And then it comes, out of a blur. The ball. God, I'm nervous. I see it coming towards me. Daren't take my eye off it. I catch it. And I run. But I don't move. I look up, and the whole of Featherstone are coming towards me. Men. Women. Children. Miners. Shop assistants, garage owners, all on the field after me. So I run, but the faster I run, the slower I go. I look around for someone to pass to. But they're all having lunch. Sat down having lunch in the middle of Wembley Stadium. Go on, Phil, they say. Go on. Run, mate, run! And I'm on the underground going down Piccadilly Station. Running. And they're all running after me. Then a policeman stops me. And I try to explain, but he wants my name and where I live. I hit him and I run. It's like running in a dream, jumping over buildings and landing at different places. But wherever I land, they're still there, coming round the corner. I run up an alleyway. I'm cornered. I look around at them. Trapped. So, I run towards them. I just close my eyes and run.
That is Adam Bassett, one of the most creative actors I've ever worked with. You can tip him. You can buy him a coffee if you want. All donations can go to our PayPal, which is Fort Culture WY, and all donations that we get split between the creatives that week. If you can't donate or buy him a coffee, follow him, follow his socials. You can find him on Twitter at Adam Bassett Hull. I've got loads of ideas for Shakespeare and Little Shop of Horrors. So if anybody wants to give us some money, yeah, we can get into that. I really, really want to play one of the characters in Little Shop of Horrors too. I think he'd make a wonderful Seymour. Yeah, lovely to mention Amy and Leeds Playhouse. And hi, Stephen. Thanks for watching. So yeah, so that's Adam, and that is visual vernacular. Isn't it such a beautiful physical language? When we did Up and Under, it's something I learned at drama school as well, but it kind of hit home more when we did Up and Under. I learned how to use my body more It's such an expressive kind of art form. And you know, many actors, or maybe you don't know, but a lot of actors know that most of us only act from here. And we forget about the rest of our body. I learned a lot on that show. So thank you so much, Jen and Pickles and everybody over at Fingersmiths. Okay. Now we have Movie Madness with Hedda. So we've got a couple of things that he's been watching and a couple of things that I've been watching. And never the twain shall meet. But here we go for Hedda and Movie Madness. Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between, we are joined by Hedda Mahboob, who runs Movie Madness. Hi, Hedda. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm okay, thank you. Thanks for having me on your show.
No, thanks for coming back. Hopefully there'll be no audio issues this time. So we've got a couple of films that you are recommending, and I've got a couple of, films and series. I've got a couple of, one film and 2 series. So what's on your list first?
So the first thing I wanted to talk about is Extraction.
Extraction.
It's Chris Hemsworth's latest movie, and it's just come on Netflix just 2 weeks ago or something.
All right, so I'm going to show the trailer for Extraction here.
They were hoping if you spin the chamber enough times, you're gonna catch a bullet.
It's just easy that way.
This is an extraction.
So who are the players?
Biggest drug lord in India versus biggest drug lord in Bangladesh.
Some mythic shit, huh?
It's a kidnapping. Drug lord's son. Clock's running at 16 hours. Proof of life as of 6 hours ago.
You want to survive, you do exactly as I say.
Who are you?
Name?
Obi.
Move fast, stay low.
Something's wrong. The city's on lockdown.
Yeah, no shit!
The job is fucked, Tyler. Tyler.
Just find my money. That kid is a walking corpse, and there's no way to protect him.
You have a family?
Yeah, son. He died a few years ago.
The best thing you could do for that kid would be to put a bullet in his brain.
We can send a chopper and get you out. But you gotta leave the kid behind.
Are you gonna leave me in the street?
I'll get you home. Grab a hold of my vest and hang on as tight as you can. Kid, you trust me?
No.
Good.
Are you always this brave?
I'm not brave.
You rescue people?
Sometimes. Sometimes I do other things.
So that is the trailer for Extraction. I've got to say, I did start watching it and I was like, the trailer looks better than than the intro to the film, because if I'd have seen the trailer first, I'd have probably pursued longer than 10 minutes. Tell us why you like Extraction so much.
So the number one reason why I like this movie is because I watch a lot of Bollywood movies, and Bollywood does like a lot of over-the-top action, and this features a lot of Indian actors, and it's very like authentic. They don't sound like they're just Hollywood actors trying to act like Indian actors, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah. So yeah, I get it. So there's authenticity there. Yeah, do you know what? It's funny, isn't it? Like I was just thinking when I was watching that, we very rarely in the Western cinema, very rarely see cinema of South Asian actors that aren't playing terrorists. And I know these guys are like drug lords and in the criminal underworld, but at least they're not, playing the usual jihadi kind of terrorists. So that's quite a new, refreshing change. And obviously there are is it the Indian Secret Service or who's Chris working?
It's something along those lines. So, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks. Yeah, I might have another look at that. It looks all right, actually. It looks all right.
There's one scene that's a 12-minute long scene. It's one of the car scenes, and it's a 12-minute one-shot type scene. And the camera go into the car and stuff. It's really cool.
Like one of the action scenes.
Yes, 12 minutes long action.
Oh, you love those, don't you? Those Scorsese type one-shot ones. All right, okay. All right, I'll give it another chance. All right, so let me see what I've got lined up. Let's go with Quiet Place, and then I can line up mine after this. So Quiet Place is also on Netflix, right?
Yeah, I think yeah, it is.
Quiet Place, the first one, because I know there's a second one coming out. So let's see the trailer for the Quiet Place original film.
I think the second one's been delayed because of the coronavirus.
Because of COVID?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, there's a lot of stuff being delayed. Not necessarily because it's not finished, but because they don't think people are going to go to the cinema. So is it, what film's being released on the Disney Channel? Disney have just announced they're releasing something on the Disney Channel that was supposed to come out. I can't remember what it is. It'll come to
Onwards. I think you're talking about Onwards.
Is it that?
I'm not sure.
I'll think. All right, so let me show the trailer for those who've not seen the original Quiet Place.
Total devastation.
All right, so that's A Quiet Place. Why is this on your list? I love this film when I saw it. Why is it on your list?
Just, it's very intense. And if you want to pass the time, it's a really good way to pass the time.
It's a good film. I love Emily Blunt anyway, who plays the mum. I don't know her name, but she plays the mum. I first saw her in The Devil Wears Prada, and she was brilliant in that, and she's great in this. I think that's her actual husband. What's the guy called?
Yeah, John Krasinski.
Yeah, that's her actual husband, isn't it? When this film came out, I loved it because around a similar time, I was doing a play called Up and Under, which was integrated with English speaking language and BSL. So we had BSL speaking actors and obviously English speaking actors. So this was my kind of like intro into, I guess, the deaf community. And you know, we don't really see many deaf characters or deaf roles on screen. And we don't see many deaf actors, which is more important because usually hearing actors play deaf roles. And the daughter in this film is a deaf actor, so there's representation there, which is great. When's the second film coming out?
From the top of my head, I don't know, because I think they've all been indefinitely delayed.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So it's on its way, but it's been delayed. Yeah. I'm not very good with alien films. My mum loves alien films, but this is definitely more of a thriller than a sci-fi.
Yeah. I thought it was really impressive because John Krasinski, the guy actor, is usually a comedian, isn't he? He's in The Office.
Yes. Yes.
And he directed and wrote this movie.
Yeah. And so, has he done so for the second as well?
I think so, yeah.
Have you seen on Netflix? There's, I don't know which came out first. I don't know if it's this one or the other one. There's a film on Netflix. Is it called The Silence?
Hush.
Is it Hush?
The one with the girl in the woods in the cabin.
It's basically A Quiet Place, but it's on Netflix and it's not A Quiet Place. So one of them kind of copied the other or was inspired by the other. I wouldn't like to say, but A Quiet Place is definitely a good shout.
I was going to say that if you're looking for a movie that's about somebody that's deaf, a movie called Hush is a really good shout.
Interesting you say that, because my friend who's deaf hated it because the actor's not actually deaf.
Got it.
Right, what is do you know what I'm going to pull up Plagues of Breslau. I recently watched Plagues of Breslau. It's a Polish film. It's on Netflix. It's kind of a crime thriller. It's got 2 female leads. And I'll show you the trailer and tell you what I think about it after.
Cowhide from a limousine bull. Take a picture, open it up. Carton off the street! Secure the body and get them the fuck out of here.
There's a body.
He was sewn up in the cowhide and couldn't move. His dear little heart stopped.
Did you ever hear about the Week of the Plagues? Degeneration, thievery, corruption, slander, oppression, and treachery.
So what are you telling me? You really think 5 more people will die this week?
4. They took Sundays off. It's not enough for him just to punish people. Don't you see that he always wants to do something spectacular?
This dramatic day will go down in Wallcloud history. The Mishdaisky Bridge will be closed until further notice.
The police didn't do a fucking thing about it.
Stop right there!
Do you recognize the victim?
Ivona! He set someone on fire! Wallcloud welcomes Prime Minister Edward Jagielski.
According to one definition, a terrorist is someone who wasn't able to negotiate to get what they wanted.
Get down!
You know who that was.
So that is Plagues of Breslau. As I say, it's a Polish film. It didn't do too good in reviews, to be honest with you. It got mixed reviews. And if you look online, you probably might be turned off by it. But I would advise people to watch it and make their own mind up, because I quite liked it. It's very shocking. There's lots of gory bits in it. I would say, not as bad as kind of Hostel kind of stuff, but it's very shocking in parts. And there's some twists and turns that I wasn't expecting. So I would definitely recommend that. It's a good one. There's something about dubbed films as well that I think doesn't help when it comes to reviews, because often the dubbing, as you probably know, there's a lot of stuff that's lost in translation. And I think that kind of adds to possibly the film feeling a bit cheesy in areas, but I think overall it's still a good watch. And as you say, when we've got nothing else but time, why not? What's next on your list?
Next was Lost. So
that's the series, right? The old. Well, I say old. How long's it been out now?
2004.
2004. Jesus. All right. So let's share screen and we'll watch the trailer for that.
So how's the drink?
It's good.
That wasn't a very strong reaction.
Well, it's not a very strong drink.
Ladies and gentlemen, the pilot has switched on and fastened the seatbelt sign. Please return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts.
Don't worry. It's gonna be over. We must have been at about 40,000 feet when it happened. In an air pocket. Dropped. But we crashed 1,000 miles off course. They're looking for us in the wrong place.
Stranded on an island. No one's coming for us.
This place is different. We all know it. We all feel it.
It's been 6 days, and we're all still waiting. Waiting for someone to come. But what if they don't? We need to start figuring things out. We need to figure out how we're going to survive here.
What was that? Did anybody see that?
Terrific. My main concern is keeping us alive.
We need to get off this island.
You think any of us want to be here?
We're all here now. We can't live together. We're going to die alone.
Do you really think all this is an accident? That we, a group of strangers, survived? Do you think we crashed on this place by coincidence? Each one of us was brought here for a reason.
And who brought us here, John?
The island.
All right, tell us why he's lost. This when you put this on your list, I was like, oh, this is interesting. Why is this on your list? What does it do?
Have you watched Lost before?
Yeah, I mean, I got into the first series way back when, but then it kind of, to not give anybody any spoilers who've not seen it, I think they wrote for the first series, and then because it did so well, they kind of had to extend it into further series, and I think it lost some of its attraction in like the sequels and stuff. But yeah, what was it that drew you in?
I think this show's really ahead of its time. Like this was made for like Netflix.
Yes.
Every episode leads into the next episode. It's like one big thing, just like Netflix is.
Yeah.
And it really made me interested because it came out in like 2004. But I was really like interested in the mystery of it all, and I just finished season 2 yesterday.
Oh, so do you know the end? Do you know the secret?
I think I actually know the actual ending.
Oh, right, okay. I didn't want to spoil it here, and let's not spoil it for anybody else. But yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know the end's supposed to have bad reviews and stuff, but just the ride itself will be good. And I think if you just watch the pilot and just don't watch anything else, it's worth it.
Right.
J.J. Abrams really wrote the hell out of that pilot. The pilot's really good.
That's good advice, actually. I mean, it's not always the case because it took me at least a year to get past the pilot to watch Breaking Bad, and once I'd done that, I was hooked. But I kept having to go back over that and over that. But usually, pilots they put a lot of work into pilots because that's what they use to go up to the networks to say, look, this is what we want to make. Give us the money. So they put a lot of effort into pilots. So pilots are usually very good things to watch just on their own. There's some. I want to go back to the trailer. Bear with me.
Okay.
There's this bit on the trailer that I really want to show again because maybe I'm psycho, but this this bit was like Jesus. Okay. It's when the people just wait for it.
Gentlemen, the pilot has switched on and fastened the seatbelt sign. Please return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts.
Don't worry. It's gonna be over.
Jesus! Everybody's hitting the roof. Oh no. Everybody's hitting the roof. Let me find the other bit. Okay. Let me share screen. This bit here.
In the wrong place.
Stranded on an island. No one.
Off course.
Here.
But we crashed 1,000 miles off course. They're looking for us.
Look at that! Oh my
Stranded on an
god!
island. No one's coming for.
Did you see the guy get sucked up by the airplane? Oh no. That is too much. Okay, so that is Lost. Next, I'm going to go with, speaking of pilots, next I'm going to go with, let me bring it up. All right, so next I'm going to go with Dead to Me. And again, I've only watched the pilot, so I'm writing a script, and for research, I wanted to learn how to do this certain thing with a character, and I was looking online for similar kinds of programs from the genre that I'm writing, and it showed me Dead to Me. So it's on Netflix. I watched the pilot and it's actually really good, and I saw last night that it's trending as number 2 or something, like in the list, like number 2 in the UK. So I think they're on season 2. This is the trailer for season 1.
I saw this trailer yesterday.
You watched it?
The trailer, not the
Did
show.
you?
Yeah. I was interested too. I was intrigued.
It's so good.
Just heat it up at 300 and leave it in for 35 minutes.
Thanks, Karen.
It's my take on Mexican lasagna.
Great.
Jeff and I can't imagine what you're going through.
Well, it's like if Jeff got hit by a car and died suddenly and violently. Like that.
Well, you get that dish back to me whenever you can.
Welcome to Friends of Heaven. Looks like we have some new people here today.
I'm Judy. Jen, I hope this isn't weird. Can I give you a hug? No. Okay. I lost my fiance 8 weeks ago. It was really sudden. Since Ted died, I haven't been sleeping. Not at all. Hey, I'm up all night. Feel free to call me and we can not sleep together. Hi. Did you get it? Is that him?
No, that's my other husband.
Oh, you have another one? Then you're fine. Are you in bed?
Yeah.
What are you wearing?
A pair of sweatpants.
Ooh, slower.
Huh?
You're a weird person, Judy.
It's really simple. I'm feeling good. I feel myself and I'm feeling understood.
Do you do this a lot?
Just every time I see a person-sized dent in the front bumper of a car. But it must be hard to be alone in that big house without Steve. My guest house is open. Be nice having you there. Boys, this is Judy.
Hey.
Dad's here!
He thinks that the bird is his dead father.
Maybe it is him.
Okay.
It's weird her being in there.
What? Holy fuck.
You don't even know her.
She could be a crazy person.
We're looking for Judy Hale.
Why are you looking for Judy?
Let's just say that wherever Judy goes, chaos tends to follow.
Is this some kind of game that you're playing? There's a lot of shit you don't know.
Grief does some weird shit to people.
I know you. You're good. Crazy or not.
You invited a criminal into your home.
She's the only person who has been here for me. That doesn't make me feel like I am failing at everything.
I've got a widow running around town like a white wine vigilante. Fuck her. Fucking love you.
I'm feeling good.
I miss you, baby. Just wanted to say that. Okay, fine. Just trying a thing. Fuck you too.
So that is the trailer for Dead to Me. Do you know what? That trailer it revealed more than I thought it would do, actually. So it's about 2 women who've lost their partners. One was knocked over in a car accident and one had a heart attack. And their relationship, but without giving too much away, that sounds quite boring, but it's not. There's all sorts going on. It's a really, really, really good series. So I'm gonna get into that.
Yeah, I felt like it should. I just didn't have to know that she was gonna be bad, her friend.
Right.
I was thinking about to show that.
Right. Okay. That's kind of, yeah. That's the spoiler that I was like, oh right, okay, it's give you that much. But seeing that it shows there's more to the story that even I don't know. So yeah, Yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. Watch it. It's really, really good. And Christina Applegate, was she in? I can't remember. Was she?
That's what I was thinking. I recognize her, but I don't know where I recognize her from.
Was it like Beverly Hills 90210? I mean, it's a bit before your time, H, but Beverly Hills 90210. I'm sure it is. Let me just see.
I was about to ask you as soon as I saw. I was thinking I've seen her somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, she's older now, but she definitely was. Where's the IMDb? Internet Movie Database. Okay, where is she? Oh, she's done loads of stuff. Oh, that's what she was in. So there was a comedy series back in the day when I was a lass, called Married with Children. She played the daughter in that. She's been in Bad Moms, Don't Tell Mum the Babysitter's Dead. That's another 80s, 90s comedy film. Yeah, not 90210. It's what was it? Married with Children. That's the one that she was in.
I seen in Vacation.
Oh, Vacation. All right, so that's dead to me. What's the last one on your list?
Last one was. Let's go to my list.
Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
Jones. All right, let me get rid of this.
I know you're not much of a Marvel person, but
wait. Let me get it up, and then you can tell me. Why I'm such a terrible person for not being a Marvel. All right, so tell me, why am I such a terrible person for not being a Marvel lover?
I'm not saying you're a terrible person at all. I said I know you're not a Marvel fan, but this is probably more up your street. Is what I'm trying to say.
Well, do you know what? I actually did start watching Jessica Jones because I loved. I actually liked Luke Cage. And she's, I mean, not at the beginning of this because it doesn't go that. It starts right at the beginning of their relationship, doesn't it? Well, it's more her story than his.
Yeah.
But his wife in the comics eventually. I know they're together. Yeah, in the comics eventually they get together at some point, but it starts like big pre Luke Cage. I wasn't completely sold on the character, not necessarily the story. The character.
The character of Jessica.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just personal preference, but yeah, I do love this. I do love Jessica Jones, the comic story, but this I was like, I don't know, maybe. Why did you like it so much?
This show for me was David Tennant. I really like David Tennant, especially in Doctor Who, he's such a different person.
Yeah, he plays the villain in this, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a really good villain in this. He's like this classy British villain.
Classic. Yeah. How many have they finished filming that? They did a couple of series, right?
It got stopped because of Disney Plus. So because of Disney Plus, they stopped all of the Marvel shows on Netflix.
Yeah, the controversy between Marvel and Disney, and was it Sony? There was some kind of contract agreement or something that was going on between those houses that caused a bit of a rift. So that was stopped due to that. Oh, I see. Interesting stuff. Yep, Jessica Jones. All right, check it out. Next, I'm going to go with Hollywood. So let me see if I can bring up the trailer. Yep, I can. Here we go with Hollywood.
This town's all about dreams. And some of my customers don't just come here for gas.
What's the password again?
Dreamland.
I want to go to Dreamland.
You get in the car with them, have a drink maybe. And sometimes you have to service them.
No, I came here to be a movie star. I want to take the story of Hollywood and give it a rewrite.
Ace has a picture that we're very excited about.
This is our screenwriter, Archie Coleman.
Pleasure to meet you.
You're colored. I love it.
Rolling!
If
we change the way that movies are made,
Half Miss Lila?
I think you can change the world. I want you to be the star.
Really? If you want something, you have to declare it.
I'll do anything. I am not just a star.
All right, everyone, roll camera. Action!
The studio is risking everything.
We're already seeing pushback.
And suddenly, everything goes dark again.
This feeling is nothing new. I'm angry. I'm scared. But what I'm not is surprised.
I will not live in fear.
Art, they don't play fair, so why should we? It ain't about whether you win or lose. What's important is being in the room.
This is Hollywood, kid.
I can make that dream of yours come true.
But it ain't gonna mean anything if this is what I do to get it.
We will not be bullied. This is just the beginning.
We aren't just making a movie. We're making history.
And the winner is...
You got this silly dream in your head and it's making our lives harder.
You bet I got a dream. I'm not the only one. A Hollywood dream, that's everybody's dream.
So that is Hollywood. It's by Ryan Murphy, who also does all the American Horror Stories and a few other things, like Pose he's done, Feud he's done quite a lot. And it caused a massive controversy because the stories, they've kind of rewritten Hollywood history. It's set in the 1950s, 1940s era. But they've rewritten it to include people of colour and to include same-sex relationships and all that kind of stuff. And people like, well, this is not historically accurate, and having a big Benny about it online. But I think it's quite good. Like, it's the Hollywood that should have happened. Like, people should have got awards that didn't get awards, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a good. I'm gonna have to trim that trailer down because I don't know how much I can show of that on Twitch. There's a few naked bodies there. But yeah, it's Hollywood on Netflix by Ryan Murphy. It's great.
I think the girl in that, I recognize her from You. I think we watched the show You.
Yeah, with the psycho boyfriend that keeps the guy. I don't want to give you another spoiler. Because if you've not seen You should watch it. But there's a psycho in that. Who is it? Who's the blonde girl?
She's the blonde girl's friend, I think. The black girl.
Oh, yeah, that's also a good series. I've not seen season 2 though.
It's good.
Right, just quickly, because I like this one. You've got Kindergarten Cop, which again is, were you even born when Kindergarten Cop first came out?
Well, definitely not born in the 1980s.
So why is it on your list?
I just thought it's like a really fun action movie, and it's just nostalgic for me. Like, it's something I grew up with, and it's just Arnold, and he's serious, but he's also a teacher, and he's also funny, and there's just two sides of it. It's like, I really like it. It's like just a classic movie.
Yeah, this if I remember rightly, this was kind of one of the first roles that Arnold Schwarzenegger took to kind of broaden his image, because before then he'd done all the the Terminators, the Predators, that kind of action stuff, and this was one of the first ones he'd done to try and soften his image, and it is nostalgic, so I'm gonna bring it up because there's a clip that I really, really want to show. So is this on Netflix? Where did you? It's on Netflix.
It's coming on Netflix this Friday.
This Friday, okay. Here we go. Here's the clip. So this is the clip. Well, it's not the trailer, but it's a very good clip that gives you a good idea of what Kindergarten Cop's all about. If you've been living under a stone and not seen it, or you were born in the 90s.
First day?
Yes.
I'll take care of her.
Thank you.
You know, kindergarten is like the ocean. You don't want to turn your back on it.
Oh, they're okay. Don't worry. Everything is under control. No. Monsters. What are you doing with this?
Aren't you gonna break it up? No, 2 more days of this, and you'll quit.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! No. Don't start this. Oh, no.
So not only has he made them cry, he's now left them unattended.
Attention! This is your new class mascot.
What happened to your dog?
This is not a dog. This is a ferret.
What's a fairy?
That's a ferret.
Oh. If he bites you, you get rabies and you die.
No, that's not true. He never bites.
Can I pet him?
Sure, but one at a time, okay? Good. Okay, next one. Come on. Yes.
One at a time.
Good.
So we have 100
Yeah.
hands.
Good. Now we're having fun.
I loved that film when it first came out.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, really good film, really good choice. So that comes out on Friday on Netflix.
Yeah.
That's it for my list. Anything else you want to say?
No, that's the end of my list too.
Wicked. All right, so there's some good ones there. I'm gonna give Extraction a chance. I'm definitely gonna pass Lost because I've seen it and I know the story, so it didn't. Yeah, I know the secret. Jessica Jones. I'll try again. Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, Hedda.
Yeah.
Have you seen Good? Is it Good Omen Bad? Good Omen Bad. Good Omens, it's called. It's by Terry Pratchett. It's on, is it on Netflix? No, it's on Prime. Good Omens, Terry Pratchett, a really good novelist. He's in that as well.
Is he?
We'll talk about that on another Movie Madness excerpt. Thank you so much for joining us. All the best with the rest of your fasting, and we'll speak to you soon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thanks.
So that is Hedda with Movie Madness. Thank you so much, Hedda. A few things. So you can follow him. His is it Instagram? Twitter? It's one of those. It's at Hedda_MB_. You can follow. He's got his own podcast in its own right, Movie Madness, at the usual places where you can find podcasts. He's a young Bradford lad. A young filmmaker, so follow him if you can. You can tip him if you want. Our PayPal is fortculturewy. Or you can, if you can't tip, I know nobody's got a job right now, so if you can't tip him, you can follow him, share his work, subscribe. This is a thing that I'm going to make an important point, okay? If you can't support artists right now, and that's completely understandable, the free thing you can do and the least taxing thing you can do is follow them on social media, subscribe to them on YouTube, and share their work. Subscribing to artists on YouTube means that they can eventually monetize their channel to earn money from adverts. That's the least taxing thing a person can do. or you can follow them and share their work so that hopefully they build an audience, and when we're out of this nonsense, they can get booked for other things. Thank you so much for all the follows. I could hear them, but I couldn't. Another one there. Thank you so much for all the follows and shares, and the likes. Please share the link, like the page, give us a review if you want. And I'm loving that you're being active in the chat. I can see the chat. Some things I can only see and can't reply to, and I can reply to others. It's weird. What else? Oh, lastly, on the captions. Okay, so again, in terms of access, this is one thing that's been brought to light. The captions are only live when I am live. If anybody has a solution or a widget or a plugin that can caption everything, whether it's live or pre-recorded, please hit me up. Contact me and I'll add it to my software straight away. But we are finding that, you know, access is not as accessible as we all think. And another thing, if you saw me sniffling in the last clip, it's because I've got really bad hay fever and not COVID, thank God. Okay, so I'm gonna have a little intermission here, and I mean little. It's gonna be 10 minutes, 15 max. Gonna have a little tinkle, gonna get a little bit of water to quench my throat, gonna have some crisps, because I've had no... Hey, Emma Jang! Hey, girl! Because I've had no tea. But come back, because let me tell you why you need to come back, okay? Because after the break, we've got Boris. Yes, that Boris. We've got Tina Turner. Yes, that Tina Turner. We've got Hannibal Lecter. Yes, that Hannibal Lecter, and more, okay? So after the break is when we get into our bag and we get the bants and we have a bit of a laugh, okay? I'm going to have a little break. Come back. Follow the page, like the page, get your drinks, get your snacks, do what you need to do, but come back. See you in a mo.
Oh shit, my bro raps hard but he don't spit. No, all boys doing hella dope shit. Don't ask her, you know it don't tick. No, I hope the plug comes with an old brick. Please. Bag work till my arm goes stiff. My boy treats loose like the NEO kicks. Man talk crap but they never saw shit. Break arts if they knew what this telephone did. If they knew what this telephone does. One phone call, get your NEO rush. I'm into the death, get a mini fish smash when I talk to the plug. No vinegar. Send up your home on the bus. Talk money if you're talking to us. Yeah. No hype if we see blue lights. And this bush get thrown in a bush. Don't panic, I'm asthmatic, I tell your girlfriend I'm Spanish. The way my homie DJ's living, I'ma change his name to Lavish. Cause you're killing it. It's savage, got baggies in my baggies. I look the plug dead in his eyes, said, do you believe in magic? Voila. Put the pack in the van, abracadabra, alakazam. I'm with KB, that is my gang. Making it home, that is the plan. It's time to expand. Heard the ops are asking about man. Heard they plan on capturing man, like I won't got any block to grab. Spanning your mind, you mad? Mutton and rice, I've hurt my stripes. Off get them nice, I'm with two guys. One of them's hot, he's got man up, so we brung two. Shit gets real when man do live. Man's cat here, let's see who rides. Let's see it. Fight, I'm different. I'd rather fuck dudes wife. Been pimping, since pimping, have the girls all swinging. Breath stinking, she's blinging, can't hear her phone ringing. That's called the bringing. My latest hobby's drinking. Sometimes I get possessed and text my ex like, guess what I'm thinking? Oh my God. No rules on Wednesdays, I like to spunk blues. I know what the roads do, so I tell the youths go to school. College in it, man. I know dudes who grew up with me, I'm close to. What happened? They know what the storm do, but this side is I'm so fool. See me, I'm old school. Why you brought up on soul food? I don't know who could walk a mile in my own shoes. No, what, but I was told to avoid shit that does not involve you. Stay out of it. My ex just text my back and said you turn to the old you. Oh my God. Oh well, I'll see you when we go hell. Fell in love with the cork smell. Now there's nothing we don't rest. Bagging up in a hotel. I know these digits so well. My best friend. I know this time I hear man, I never met a wish that don't smell. That's one of them. Not fucking one of them. Yeah, it's like, man, I got me feeling like John from Wick out here or some shit. Sat minding my own business. It's like, man, come and kill a dog or something. I have to show man what time it is now. Man, oh, come on, plug your plug, for real. Teddy also went to Bush for everybody and then I knows what I does, for real. Come and find me in your plugs and with me. I got the blower blowing up. Hello. I'm trying to beg a charger in the pub. Yo, can I use your charger, please? Me, I wear my darkers in the club. In the club. Mr. Mecca, this yard smell of pub. Good, he can. Man, are bad. Are you mad? Are you mad? Before we go, check the snap. Where they at? Yo, where they at? Go and cause a problem where they trap. Go where they chill. Before we go, check the snap. Where they at? Yo, let me tell her what's going on, though. Man, a murder in the trap. For real. Nitty's putting Tina Turner in the ash. Anywhere we there, turn it to a trap. Work her in the front, burn her in the back. If I think your baby mother's bad, then what I'll hit the DMs and I'll turn her to a else. I turn a person to a stash. I'm just trying to turn a purple to a bite. You understand, man? Trying to double up, triple up. For when it's time to have to go and dig it up. Yo, go get that, cuz it's time to show you what these digits does. You know, been a minute since I seen a nick. Niggas, give a fuck, you can't sit with us. No, check my steeds, don't make me go and pick some push gifts up. Baby, what you doing? 220 horses make them giddy up. Really, cause we off the city up. Come on, a bad, are you mad? Are you mad? Before we go, check the snap, where they at? Yo, where they at? Cause go and cause a problem where they trap. Or where they chill. Before we go, check the snap, where they at? Yo, where they at? Cause come on, a bad, are you mad? Are you mad? Before we go, check the snap, where they at? Yo, check that Snapchat. Go and cause a problem where they trap. Or where they kick. Before we go, check the snap, where they at? Where them? In the trap playing old 50. You need what? Just give me a minute. Give me a minute, cuz. Yo, bitch, go get the digits. Teddy's active, cuz. It's what a loose batch you done. Some shit. I don't mean to be dramatic, but I seen a image on a mattress, cuz. Oh gosh. Type of yeah that'll make your jaw lock. Type of debts that'll take your door off. Boom, but hello is on us. Hello. Oh gosh, everybody's roped up. Relax, everybody chill. I don't wanna hurt nobody, but my homie will. Okay. Not enough for spill. Just do as he says. I beg you keep it real. Go and get the eating. I don't need help, I just need someone to feed it. Believers, we're right here killing it. South of the city on some gorilla shit. Doing what we gotta do. But it's not just me, I got you. Doing what the hush do. Got the type of push to make your body move. Oh, that Teddy's active. I'm active, come, I'll show you about some magic, blood. Yo, come look at this. I'm not into adding much. Not much. Just enough to give that afterbuzz. As for us, we'll be about. Always got the soul, never seen a drop. Go and get the name out now. Let's try and make the digits bounce. Did they stop? Girls got mad. Baby girl, have you off in the trap? Nah, I didn't think you would. I didn't. My homie's coming with some snow from the rack. Imagine that, babe. Go get that. Nah, wait, go get the.
All right, welcome back. I've got chocolate stuck in my mouth. Sorry, it was a quick fix for a starving child. Have you got your drinks? Have you got your snacks? Because now we're going to get into bants. Welcome, Justina. Welcome to all the viewers that have been watching Barbershop Chronicles live stream by The National. I didn't get a chance to watch it, so hit me up in the chat. Tell me how it was. Hey, Emma Jang, lovely to see you. Yeah, so hit me up in the chat, Justina. I can see the chat. Tell me what the. I know you were watching the stream, girl. Tell me how the show was. But for us, I'm really sorry. I was hungry and I've got chocolate still in my teeth. And apologies for the top being keyed out, but it goes with the captions. So, you know what I mean? All right, so we are going to get into our favourite person, Boris. Yes, that Boris. Are you ready, guys? And let me find him. Here we go. Here's Boris.
So, did you watch Boris's speech?
I certainly did.
And what did he say?
Well, he said, don't stay to work if you haven't got the bus, because if you can't, you better go out, because if you don't stay at work, then you can't go in. And if you...
What are you talking about?
Well, it's not me. I didn't say it. It's Boris. He said, you got to go out home if you can't work at work. And if you don't have a bus, you can't do it.
That makes perfect sense to me. Why, we'll go to work straight away.
No, we can't.
Why not?
Well, we haven't got a bus.
Haven't got a bus.
So, hey, little tan cam. So that was Duncan Wisby with his, should I say, Laurel and Hardy translation of Boris's major speech that we had this week. And this is going to be a running theme for a few minutes because, you know, it was a massive kind of point in our COVID history. So we're going to go next with another gentleman here, Matt Lucas, kindly translated Boris for us. Here is Matt Lucas.
Don't go to work, go to work. Don't take public transport, go to work, don't go to work. Stay indoors. If you can work from home, go to work. Don't go to work. Go outside, don't go outside. And then we will or won't, something or other.
Matt Lucas there with another translation of the clear guidelines that we've got now for our lockdown, about what we can do and what we can't do, you know, the unlimited exercise that we can do and the mingling of workers but not family members. And last but not least, we have commentary from the Refix Show on Boris's speech. Here is the Refix Show.
Almost 2 months since the people of this country began to put up with pussy-clad restrictions upon their freedom, your freedom, of a kind that we have never seen before, in peace or war. But right now, I'm going to introduce a new something where we're going to use to tackle the coronavirus. One must be mad if you think, say, we're not going to go back to work right now and earn ourselves some money. The bank, them bust, everything sell off. We're broke right now, I tell you. Look at the shoes we have, or one pair I have. So now listen to me, pussy clack good. We will be using this coronavirus threat level meter. You see when it's on green, that means everything crisp, nice, but police brutality will still be present. When it reach all red, number 5, that means lockdown, everything mash up, fuck up. Let me tell you this pussy clad. Right now we're at level 4. And it's still dangerous, you fuck, but you still have to go to work. Listen, me have to go away now, but me I say, go to fucking work.
So that was Boris and the Nando's spice chart telling us how deep we are into mango and lime or medium. And the Refix Show and their translation. Thank you so much for that. Now we're going to get into alternative culture. Yeah. Okay, so since quarantine, my inspiration for this show was my drag mother. One of my favourite stage performers in America, Mama Bitch Puddin'. Bitch Puddin' is a drag queen in America, or a drag ghoul in America, who won Dragula. If you've not seen Dragula, get on it. So Dragula seasons 1, 2 and 3 are on Prime, I believe, and Netflix maybe, but you need to get into it. It's like RuPaul's Drag Race, but make it Halloween, and it's amazing. And the winner of season 2 is basically one of my idols, Bitch Pudding. And on the very first weekend of lockdown, so if you imagine, drag queens are performers just like actors are, comedians, singers, all that kind of thing. They perform live in clubs every weekend or every night of the week, whatever. And when lockdown happened, obviously their industry was decimated the same way ours was. Now, Bitch Pudding, with her genius and genius imagination and foresight, created a digital channel that was basically the inspiration for culture. And what she did, she created a digital channel on Twitch. If you're not on Twitch, get on Twitch. Follow your girl on Twitch. And she created a platform for all drag queens all over the world to produce content, to live stream it, and to still earn money through tips, a bit like what we're doing tonight. And she's been doing it for 9 weeks now. I mean, I'm only on week 4 because I'm doing it on my own. But, you know, I mean, she's doing it on her own too. But she's been doing it for 9 weeks. That's amazing. And this was, what I'm going to show you next was an excerpt from week 2. And at the time, I mean, we've kind of seen a little bit more of this kind of thing now, 9 weeks in. But in week 2, this was genius. And this is the kind of content I want for culture. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be alternative, doesn't have to be a drag queen, doesn't have to be lip syncing. But I just want us to start thinking outside of the box when it comes to content creation. There's more we could be doing, people. The drag queens and the DJs and alternative culture have been keeping our sanity, and they deserve their flowers. And our next clip is from 2 wonderful drag queens, one called Mary Vice, the other from Zojob, and a little bit of Barbara Streisand, I believe. So let's get into it.
I'm scared, so afraid to show I care. Will he think me weak if I tremble when I speak? Ooh, what if there's another one he's thinking of? Maybe he's in love. I'd feel like a fool. Life can be so cruel. I don't know what to do. I've been there with my heart out in my hand. But what you must understand, you can't let the chance to love him pass you by. Tell him that the sun and moon rise in his eyes. Reach out to him and whisper tender words so soft and sweet. I'll hold him close to feel his heartbeat. Love will be the gift you give yourself. Touch him with the gentleness you feel inside. Your love can't be denied. The truth will set you free. You'll have what's meant to be. All in time, you'll see. Ooh, I love him. Then show him of that much I can be sure. Hold him close to you. I don't think I could endure if I let him walk away when I have so much to say. soft and sweet. Hold him close to feel his heartbeat. Love will be the gift you give yourself. Love is light that surely glows in the hearts of those who know. It's a steady flame that grows. Be the fire with all the passion you can show. The night love will assume its place. Every time cannot erase your faith will lead Lord where it has to go. Tell him that the sun and moon rise in his eyes. Reach out to him and whisper words so soft and sweet. Hold him close to feel his heartbeat. Love will be the gift you give yourself. Never let him go.
So that is Mary Vice and Zojob and their performance for Bitch Pudding's digital drag. It's on every Friday night at an ungodly time, guys. But if you are interested in the alternative culture and looking for inspiration, the drag queens are where it's at. They are breaking boundaries and barriers and everything else every week, trust me. So Bitch Pudding show is every Friday. I think it starts at like 2 a.m. British time. And yeah, there's some amazing artists on that show. You can also check out House of Yes, which was recommended to me by one of my drama school friends, Isaac, another alternative culture site that is producing amazing content. And when you say amazing content, it sounds really clinical, but what I mean is stuff to make you laugh. You know what I mean? Stuff to make you laugh, stuff that's kind of outside the box. So yeah, House of Yes and Bitch Pudding and Dragula. All right, so now we're getting into the content that I asked you guys for. So I asked you for your TikToks. I've been on TikTok since it were Musically, okay? Sporadically. I don't post all the time because, you know, I've got a job normally. But yeah, so I've known about TikTok since it was called Musically, and I've really kind of loved the platform. And now we've been in lockdown, a lot of you have come to love the platform, and I have been loving the content that you guys have been posting. So I've stolen a few posts and borrowed a few posts and pinched a few posts. So we are going to get into your TikToks. First is my TikTok, and this was produced, I think it was 2 days before lockdown. I was working with Freedom Studios. We were doing a digital theatre kind of R&D, basically. We were learning how to multicam live theatre. Check it. And in our breaks, it's tradition. I always do a TikTok in the break. And this is what we were basically in an empty hotel in the middle of Bradford. So this is what we came up with.
Here's Bobby!
Come play with us forever and ever.
So that is Povi Palmer and Alona Mataka, my TikTok sidekicks. and guess the film. I want to see in the chat if you know what the film is. So tell me in the chat, what is the film? Can't be that hard, surely. Next we have Danielle McLaurin. So Danielle, we met when we did 60 Seconds of Shakespeare way back when. She was one of the wonderful artists that got chosen to do a piece, and she's been big on TikTok since lockdown, and she's been sick at it. So this is one of her clips.
Don't be scared.
Hey.
So that was Danielle McLaurin. You can follow up. You saw the TikTok there. If you want to find her to follow her on TikTok, you can get the Facebook post, which will be up there for indefinitely. Follow her on TikTok. She's an actor in her own right. She's an amazing actor. She's a writer. Follow her. Find out about her work. All right, who have we got next? Next, we have my girl, Naomi Wright. Yes, Nye. We know her as Wingy. She's also been blowing up on TikTok. So this is the thing about TikTok, right? I know a lot of people look down their nose at TikTok, but TikTok is a platform that allows people to be creative that have never been allowed to be creative before. So people who didn't have access to drama school, didn't have access to acting classes, didn't have access to dance classes, they are now finding that they can be creative on TikTok. So don't look down your nose at people on TikTok. And Naomi's one of the people on TikTok. Naomi would be an amazing stand-up comedian if she had the same access to drama school training and writing training and all the things that other people have. Okay, so check out my girl, Naomi Wright. That is Naomi Wright doing the thriller walk of shame to the kettle after a long night of being on your own in your house drinking gin, I guess. All right, so the next one is I'm really going to destroy his name because what I've written down is not his name, and I can completely see that I've written it wrong. But his first name is Leith. I believe he is from the Netherlands. He's done a take of, so the popular TikTok Don't Rush, and everybody puts their makeup brush and they do the whole thing. He's done his own take on the Don't Rush challenge. This is Leith.
Are you suggesting this is proof of God?
I'm saying that there is no logical reason for its existence, yet it exists.
And it came to you?
Exactly. I don't think it was intended for me, but I've been chosen to deliver its message.
And what is the message?
I don't know. I don't know.
So that is Leif Gantvort there, with his take on the Don't Rush challenge. Can you see how creative we can be when we put our minds to it? And I understand. I know we're in a global pandemic that none of us have been in before, and we're in crisis, and being creative is a struggle. But come on, guys. We can do it. We can do it. I've got faith. All right, so next up, we have... Oh my God, I can't even say it. I can't even breathe when I say it. The amazing Tina Turner.
The river.
That is Austin Farrell there. You can follow his TikToks. He's amazing on TikTok. When I tell you, alternative culture is kicking our straight's ass. We need to get it together. Come on. Let's be a bit more creative. Austin Farrell there with the amazing Tina Turner tribute. There is a second part to that, but I'll let you go follow him on TikTok. Okay, so next is... a very well-known character in the cannibalistic world. Yeah, so you remember this guy, right?
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Hannibal Lecter there, the whole ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti scene, very famous. Well, check out Hannibal on TikTok.
Dance, but it's really on some street shit. I'ma show you how to get it. It go right foot up, left foot slide, left foot up, right foot slide. Basically, I'm saying either way.
Hey, Mr. Stallone, keep writing. Got a part for me in it. Give me a part of Agent, huh? And Arnold? Yeah. Say hi to Lulu. I'll be back. Hush now. Hey. I couldn't even skip when I was a kid. You better coordinate me. Hey, come on, fight, Rocky. Hey. I got questions too. Yeah, Arnold, I'll be back. Sly, hello.
Not so scary, right? But did you see the guns? Jesus, Sir Anthony Hopkins still got guns at this age. Yo. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful TikToks. Follow him on TikTok. He is an absolute outside the box thinker's dream. All right, so next we have another northern artist, Taron Knight. He is in the northwest region. I don't actually know where you're from, Taron, but I know that you're in the northwest region, like Manchester, Bolton area-ish. He's also another comedic actor, brilliant comedic actor, writer, and here is his ode to key workers.
So, you've signed up to be a key worker on the front line, working in a shop. Well, here's what to expect.
Oh, dickhead. Where's all the flour?
Hi, I just want to say that you're doing an amazing job. We're so thankful for having people like you, key workers, on the front line, fighting this war. You are doing an amazing job. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you for everything that you're doing.
Move out the way, Granny.
Can I kiss you? Suppose I'll just take the paper then.
Why can't I have 6 cartons of eggs and 10 milks? I always have that much. I said, can I have 20 Lambert and butter, please? 2 bottles of vodka, a scratch card, and tonight's lottery. Oh, do you take cash? Hey, move out the way, you dickhead.
Hi, love. It's me again. How are you? Yeah, I know. I'm here again. Getting my essentials, aren't I, eh? Wine, wine and more wine. Fine red wine to dine. And chocolates and sweets, you know, and a paper and some nail varnish. Gotta look glam, ain't you, eh, darling? Oh, you're a lovely fella, you are, eh? See you tomorrow for when that whiskey goes on offer. Bye, darling.
What, you're not taking the cash? You're not taking cash? What if I spit on it? Will you take it then? Come on, mate. Nobody has to know that it's not 8 o'clock in the morning. Hey, you could serve me that body if you wanted to.
So, good luck, everyone. And remember, you're all local heroes.
That is Taron Knight there with his ode to being a key worker. So you want to be a key worker, I think that piece is called. You can follow him. If you didn't write his socials down, it's at Taron87 on Twitter. You can buy him a coffee. You can tip him. Trust me, I will send the money straight to him, and it will be split between the artists this evening. Or you can just directly follow him, share his work, support him that way. And his piece, so you want to be key worker, moves us directly on to my next segment. So this is Belly Mujinga, and this lady is a railway worker who recently died due to the COVID virus. And I'm going to read an excerpt from the Transport Union TSSA, and it's very important that I read this, and you will see why next. Thousands of people have died from the coronavirus, including many transport workers, as they are being asked to return to work this week. Here we share one sad story, that of the ticket office worker and TSSA member Belly Majinga, who died of coronavirus in April after being spat on at the Victoria Station concourse. She was 47 years old and leaves behind her an 11-year-old daughter. On the 22nd of March, Belly and her colleague were on shift. They were on the concourse at the ticket office when they were assaulted by a member of public who spat at them. The man coughed over them and then told them he had the virus. Belly and her colleague were shaken by the experience, and the police were called, and I think it was a couple of days later, they were found to be positive with the virus, undergoing many of the symptoms. Belly's condition grew worse. She was admitted to hospital, put on a ventilator, and sadly died 14 days later after the assault at Victoria Station. I bring this up to say that after the kind of unclear advice from our Prime Minister and Health Secretary, a lot of key workers have been at the front line and you know, dealing with this at the forefront, and now more so now people have kind of been told it's okay to go back to work and die. The studies are showing that care workers and people who work in care homes and such are dying at 2 times the rate of anybody else because they don't have adequate PPE. I bring up Belly's plight and the care workers' plight and the BME plight last week. You know, we've had studies saying that black males or BME males are 4 times more likely to be affected by the virus, or 4 times more likely to die from the virus. BME communities in general are 2 times more likely to die from the virus. And this is all, you know, it's not genetic. It's all due to the kind of work that people are doing, the kind of access to being able to work from home and protection and all that kind of stuff. And I just want to kind of highlight that all the key workers, we appreciate you. We know that you are basically putting your lives on the line. I know most of us are bored of the virus and we're sick of it and we just want to go out and mingle, but this is the reality of the virus. Okay. I want to bring up this picture of some of the NHS workers that have passed away due to the virus. And I want to mention one more thing actually, before I go. So people are dying. I've had a couple of friends and a couple of people that I know pass away to the virus, and a few. And people are not able to go to funerals. We're doing online funerals. Mothers and fathers are not able to comfort their children in their dying days, due to the virus. And we've got people doing the fucking conga in the street over barbecues and fucking pims. And I just want to say to all the key workers, to working class people, to people who are on the front lines dealing with this every day, we appreciate you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and you are in our thoughts. Without getting too deep, that's my final thought on the whole COVID issue. Our thanks this week. So our thanks this week, we've got thank you to Hedda and Movie Madness. Thank you to Adam Bassett. Thank you to Danielle McLaurin for her TikTok. Thank you to Naomi Wright for her TikTok. Austin for that wicked Tina Turner. Thank you to Sir Anthony Hopkins. Thank you to Taron for his wonderful piece on So You Want to Be a Key Worker. Thank you to Alona Mataka and Povi for putting up with me and my TikToks. Thank you to Duncan Wisby for his Ollie, Stan and Ollie excerpt. Thank you to Refix Show for their Boris translation. Thank you to David for being such a wonderful BSL interpreter for me. And I say for me because Adam doesn't need one. It's me that needs to understand him. And for giving up your time freely. Thank you so much. Thank you to Mary Vice and Zojob and Bitch Pudding. Thank you, Mama Pud, for your amazing show. Go watch it on Friday nights. Thank you to Leave. Thank you to Matt Lucas. Thank you to everybody who's watched. If you've got ideas for shows, you can contact us at the email there. You see it? You see it there? That's actually the wrong email, you know. Let me just take this down. Wait, yo. So the email is thoughtculturewy@gmail.com. If you've got ideas for shows, or you've got content you want to share, or you've got things you want to talk about, we can talk live. You can come on and talk live, but we can't perform live. My laptop cannot handle it. Yes, contact us if you want to donate to the creatives. You can donate by PayPal. The link is in all the social media stuff. I do have some treats coming up. So, first treat. Bloods assemble! So coming up, we have our anime special with my girl Leander and Sophia. We are going to be bloods, black and brown nerds, talking about anime and all that good stuff. That is coming up soon. And I have another secret special coming up. I can't say too much because, it's still in the pipeline. But what I can say is tick tock, don't stop. And that is all I'm going to say. Thank you to everyone who watched tonight. We appreciate you. Thank you from the bottom of our heart for watching the show. Like the page, follow the page, share the page, subscribe to our YouTube. You can help artists out by just subscribing and liking and sharing their work. It is, it's very tax-less to you as an audience member. We're going to have another amazing show next Thursday at 8 p.m. live. Thank you so much and good night.